She says that her husband isn't doing enough, chores or whatever. And she goes, a woman decides to cook dinner, to not cook dinner to see what her husband will do. And she said, a mom fed up with the patriarchy brackets, aren't we all?
Patriarchy.
Yeah. Decided to put her husband to the test by conducting a little experiment to help prove her theory that women do everything and men are just as incompetent as she thinks they are. So she's coming into this hot with not liking men, right?
Yeah, she hates her husband. Her male kids.
It is, yeah. That is like toxic behavior number one. Obviously, when people say like you do these, like, well, maybe we'll see what happens if I just maybe stop. I'll put my clothes on the floor and see how she likes that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll just leave all my clothes.
Very passive aggressive.
It's the most passive aggressive shit ever. So I guess she makes dinner and she goes, "What if I just don't make dinner?" And basically the guy didn't notice. She got really mad about it.
Yeah.
It's the moral of the whole thing was it's a girl getting mad at just how easy it is to keep a guy happy.
She just wanted to see like, so what happens if there's no dinner at 6:30 and the dude's just like watching the game, just be like, Yep.
It's the gist of what happened.
And she's like, "Are you hungry?" He's like, "What?"
No, I could eat. Whatever. She goes, I'm not making dinner. He goes, okay, I'm fine on that front too then. So she put this experiment together, right? And she's going viral. So on top of that, there's the added component that you got your wife on TikTok being like, I'm going to do experiment because this piece of shit, you know what I mean? Put you on blast. I'd assume this guy doesn't have TikTok though, so that's good. The experiment shows that men would rather starve than make their own meals. And by the way, I'm in this category a little bit.
Yeah.
I've actually had similar things in this because I always say, I go, I want this. I don't care if you make meals. Like I always tell a girl, like, to be sometimes honest, it's sort of a pain in the ass a little bit because they make big meals and I can't control my portions. You know what I mean? So if I get if you're dating a girl, like that's how you get fat is like dating a woman that like makes these extravagant meals.
I mostly
every
cook
night.
in my house, so I'm mostly the cook. So
yeah, wet lettuce, man. But for me, I go breakfast. You know what has always bothered girls that I date?
Yeah.
Is that I do most
can of beans.
No,
for breakfast.
most days I do cereal and I have one bowl, one spoon, and I just put it in the same thing and then I finish it, wash it, put it back, and I don't put it in the dishwasher. I just
that's fine.
One bowl.
Why would you put a single bowl in the dishwasher?
Right. So they're always like, and they'll always be
Because
like, why don't you do the dishes or whatever? And I'm like, I have one bowl and one spoon. Like, why am I doing dishes? Like, everything here you use. I have one bowl and one spoon. I never order food. Yeah. So all of it's everyone else's.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's all yours, yeah.
One bowl, one spoon. So I'll eat that. And then for, lunch, if anything I don't eat, or you eat one of those normal meals. And then dinner I usually eat out because at comedy clubs or whatever, something like that. So it's like, this is
good system.
Basically,
it's she's like a very streamlined, simple.
It is a little
system.
streamlined, yeah.
Yeah.
But the gist of it is, it's a girl trying to get credit for something that the guy doesn't care about.
Yeah, for sure.
In this specific scenario,
well, he's just like, I don't want this to be. He's like, if you're gonna make, obviously he does all sorts of shit. Like, I'm sure there's no scenario where the guy goes, yeah, I'm gonna let the fucking grass grow on the lawn until you fucking can't walk through it and see if she says it. And obviously she's gonna.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's the passive aggressive thing.
And like,
yeah, but
there's no scenario where he goes, look, she's not saying anything. Like, instantly she's bitching about it. She goes, what are you fucking not doing the thing or whatever? Like, I thought that was your deal. You do the grass, I make the food. So he's just like, yeah, that's our deal. Like, every relationship has
a deal.
Has a deal. Everybody's like, you do this, you do this. It's like, generally there's just like responsibilities. I don't know.
And it is one of those things where it'll be like, why don't the doctors be the lawyers and the lawyers be, doctors?
He's probably like,
why don't the lawyers be the farmers and the farmers be the lawyers?
He's just like, yeah, I work.
Because we need farmers. Yeah. That's the answer to that question.
He's probably just like, he's like, yeah, you make dinner because I work and you've been working on your screenplay for 7 years. That you said is almost done for the last 4 years.
It's actually worse than that, though. He's like, well, I make dinner because I've been working and you're making TikToks about how bad I am. Well, I was just thinking because I had a pretty hard day at work today and you were at home making TikToks about what a piece of shit I was.
Yeah, because like at my job, strangers come up to me and they know me as this piece of shit on the internet.
Guy fucking doesn't thank his wife for dinner.
He goes, and I buy the food. And so I feel like it's a good deal if, you maybe like make it, which you have been doing. Honestly, it's been fine until you started making TikToks.
But the funny part is that what you're just saying right now isn't what's happening. What's actually happening is she's making the food and he didn't notice. She didn't even say what you just said.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. He's just like, sure.
He's saying that would be me. I'll never notice anything like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like food not being ready.
Yeah. But I also think he's probably a little savvy. Like there's a little gamesmanship on his part. He's hungry.
Possibly.
He's going to like the basement to sneak like some snacks because he's like, I'm not even. There's no way I'm bringing this up. You have
to be unaffected.
He goes. This is for a TikTok or something. He's like, fucking no way. I'm not biting on this.
She walks in. She goes, "How you feeling? You peckish at all?" And looks, there's 9 cameras.
Like 9 ring lights flip on. He goes, yeah, no. Yeah, he goes, I'm all right.
No, I'm fine. She got the video set up everywhere. There's like a guy with the plant on and the plant hat on.
He goes, no, good. No.
So sometimes when I've absolutely had a fucking enough of being a woman, this girl's had it up to here with this guy. I like to conduct a gender-based experiment to prove to myself that all women, in fact, do everything, that men have no fucking initiative, and the patriarchy is a fucking hot bag of dicks. So she's coming out hard on this shit.
It's so funny because when he's had enough of being a husband, he doesn't not do a thing. He kills himself. He commits suicide. She just doesn't make dinner one night and makes a TikTok about it.
Another 30 minutes later, she and her husband are still unfed. So she was 30 minutes in right now. The clock's ticking. She comes in. Dinner's 30 minutes late. Like most people probably don't even really notice that there's a dinner time. Did you have a dinner time at your house? Like, did you have a specific dinner time?
Specific, no. It was always because my dad came home later because he just worked later. So it was always when
he gets home.
When my dad came home is when we had dinner, which was usually like 6:30.
Yeah. I never had, dinner's at this time sort of thing.
It was, yeah.
You better be home for dinner. So instead of asking her what she'd like to do for dinner, he's chatting to her about some butterfly crystals he found in the garden. So this guy's just living his life.
No, he's playing the game right now.
You think
she's like, he goes, she's like, yeah, he's like talking, like she's trying to drop subtle hints about there not being dinner. And he goes, I found these butterfly crystals in the garden. Isn't
he just
wild?
Unaffected.
Like totally just taking it.
That is the move. We don't have all the information, but that is 100% the move when you can tell she's huffing around up to something. You have to pretend you ignore it.
Yep.
Because you have to pretend you just didn't notice at all.
Yep.
He's totally and completely oblivious to the fact that dinner is not made yet. It is very just to live in that kind of small world. Meanwhile, she notes that she's extremely hungry. So now she's getting hungry. That's pretty funny. So she's 30 minutes in and now she's starving to death and she's talking about butterflies, watching the game. So this experiment's not going as planned for her. The camera people.
I mean, she's having. I'm looking at her TikTok right now, and she is having since this video a literal fucking meltdown. Okay, as a person, you're like, if this is your husband, she has.
So that's why he knows. She goes, anything about dinner. This guy knows better than to say anything that's going to trigger her.
So this is her, not the most recent one, but this one right here, 2 ago. It says, yes, that's me as a fanny. I'm dressed up as a giant minge to celebrate Get Lippy Day.
Oh, she's dressed up like a vagina?
Like a giant vagina.
Ew.
Look.
This
is the kind of stuff that your wife's posting while you're fucking slaving away at work.
I mean, listen, if you have a wife that's dressed up like a fucking vagina, I will tell you, I'm probably not expecting her to make too much dinner. I'll probably pick something up on the way home. That's one of those things where if you're on the internet and if you see in your feed that your wife's posting photos of her dressed up like a vagina, I think you probably stop at the bodega on the way home.
Oh, here's another one. Here's her most recent one. Is 8 years of being married to Roger. So this is the fucking loser's name. And married to Roger. And we're still going strong, even though I got his name wrong at the altar. And it's her literal wedding day video. And it says, when you say the name wrong at the altar. She said her husband's name wrong. And this guy's
she did that on purpose for the clout?
It was 8 years ago. This is before clout existed.
That is fucking nuts.
Now she's loving it.
It's the funny is obviously it was a name.
She says, for clarity, I've never shagged a Roger.
It's a name of a different race too.
DeAndre, you go, that doesn't even sound like Roger.
You know what? I just want to say that I can't wait to spend my life with you, Muhammad. Oh, sorry. I mean, Bill. And she goes, what the fuck? there is no one that I'd rather be with than you, Lonnie Andro. And you go, what?
This guy's literally been getting bitched around since like the vows.
We got to pour one out for this, bro, eh?
Sorry, Raj.
I'm gone. So then he goes, I'm gone. I'm so hungry, so I'm not cooking tonight. And then my husband is suddenly not hungry either. He'd rather starve than cook. This is other comments. So this is people in the comment section, which I did for you. But they go, despite her grumbling stomach, she sticks to the plan. I've got to do this for the sake of women. So she's like on a
women.
She's doing a freedom fighting mission right now, storming around the house with her experiment. She's gone 45 seconds without filling her fat stomach, and she thinks she's a hero.
It must be a fun home life.
I've got to prove a point. After putting their son to bed around 9 p.m., her husband finally offers to make a gourmet meal of fish sticks and fish fingers and chips. So there you have it. I'm eating at 9 p.m. and 3 hours later than we normally eat. I officially hate men.
Yeah, huge win for Roger, by the way. Roger is just like this.
Well,
they like, you want some fish and chips?
Yeah, he probably likes fish and chips.
But he likes it, but he's more so just like, she's falling apart now.
Oh, he walks in, she's pulling all her hair out, and she goes, and he goes, are you okay? He goes, am I okay? Dinner's 2 hours late.
Smashing plates.
I need a fish stick.
He goes, but
hear me, this queen, fish sticks.
He's like, but I thought you said you were going to make dinner. And she goes, what?
Give me my TikTok.
Yeah, this is Roger.
I will say that my take to the only advice that I can give guys on this one is you are better off in most cases finding a girl that makes a little bit less money than you. And you kind of need that leverage against that shit. Don't want a girl that's fucking putting, lifestyle.
You definitely do not want some chick who's just like has one TikTok that has 1 million views.
Oh, you don't want that.
That's what you want.
That's scary.
That's scary because they just got a taste.
She will need that, right? She's gonna be doing some wacky ass shit,
right?
Oh
God, like because this is what this chick is like. Her 6th TikTok or something got like 1 million views, and then you're like, yeah.
So she's scary. It's a taste, but also you want to have a little bit more money because then you have a little bit of leverage. So it's like anyway, if you make 50 grand, find a girl that makes 35 grand, whatever it is, you fucking get in that. You know what I mean?
Or you just need to be willing to walk away at any moment.
Willing to walk away, yeah.
That's that too.
Yeah, maybe just avoid the crazies, period.